Hi, welcome to AutoFulfill tutorial. And in this tutorial, we'll walk through each steps that is involved in using the AutoFulfill software. So first, why do we use AutoFulfill? Is so that we can automate everything related to our order management and fulfillment management. Let me explain what it means. So let's say you get an order and you have multiple vendors all over the world and in different locations. So you want AutoFulfill to automatically send, without you intervening, automatically send each order when it comes automatically to the exact supplier. Basically split, let's say for example, a customer orders 3 line items in your order and 3 line items belongs to 3 different vendors or one vendor. And so it has to be sent to the particular vendor instantly. And AutoFulfill does that. And not only that, AutoFulfill also enables you to have the vendor see the information, and he or she can enter the tracking number. And once they enter the tracking number, it gets fulfilled. So for example, here this is an unfulfilled order, 1059, and it needs to be fulfilled. So which automatically is done. So completely automates your backend operation. So for that, there's a one-time step process that we need to do. And what's the first thing is that, how to select products from your store to send orders instantly to your vendor. So this is a one-time setup. So basically you have to link the products in your store to a vendor. So for example, let's see, this is a demo setup here, and you want to set up the first time. So first time, you want to add a vendor. So let's say, I just click that button, which is add a vendor, and let's give a name, test one or something, and you want to select the products. So there are 2 ways where you can select the products and link them to a vendor. So here, this gives you all the list in your current store. So for example, this is all the products in my demo store. So I can add them by clicking on them, and I can remove them by clicking on the right side. I can search for them, I can search by the name of the product, not by the vendor name. I can search by the name of the product. So let's say I have some gloves. So these are my gloves, and I can say I have a vendor for gloves, and I can add all this here. So for example, we'll come back to this later. This is the first method. The second method is a little more advanced and complicated, but this is very powerful though. So you can have conditions, like for example, I can add a condition saying I want to add by vendor name. I have given vendor name for each product. So let's say if I add, there's a vendor name called Motif. This is the vendor name. So anytime an order is placed and it contains a product that is linked to this vendor, it will automatically be sent there. So you can do that, and there's all conditions, which means you can add multiple conditions. It has to match all the conditions. Any conditions means it can match one of these conditions, and it will send that. So let's remove here, and there's other options like you can identify by SKUs or by product ID or tag and order tag. There's multiple ways. You can in fact add order tag or a customer tag or a product tag, and then you can have another more powerful search conditions here, which is like starts with, contains, in comma list, not in comma. Comma list means like you can have multiple vendor names, or so on. So just to keep it simple right now, we'll remove this, and we'll just select few products here. Let's say I have some gloves, and there's a vendor who gives me gloves, supplies gloves, and he ships those orders. So I select all of them here. So let's say I select all the glove products here, and then I have some bandanas, that I've listed. So let's say I'll click all that, I'll select all that. Just a few seconds there. Yes. So you see, these are the selected products. So anytime an order is placed which contains these products, it will be sent to this vendor. And we'll go to the next step, and we'll see what's the next step is. So the first step is selecting products from your store to send automatically to your vendor. So that's the first step. And this is, like I told you, this is the one-time setup process. You set it up once, it's completely magical. It's automated throughout. So anytime an order comes, you don't need to be involved in downloading or sending spreadsheets or just watching or anything. I'll show you how it works. So this is the first step. So before you go to the next step. The next step, the second step is to set up a vendor link, and I'll show you how. So in the first video, we saw how we can select products. So you can select by just clicking here, by searching and clicking, or you can use advanced options. And if you want to watch this, you can go to the first video. And so now the next step is we have selected all these products, and anytime the order comes which has these products, it will be sent to this vendor, and we'll see how. So say save and continue here, and you see here there's a link here. And this is the link that you have to share with your supplier or your vendor or your fulfillment partner. And I'll show you what happens in this link. So this is a permanent link. So anytime they want to see orders from you or they want to fulfill any orders, this is the link that they have to use. So you can copy that and send it. And so I'll look at all these options in other videos, how to add more fields and notifications in other following videos. And we'll just look at advanced options here. But maybe sometimes you don't have orders to be fulfilled where you have to add tracking numbers. So sometimes people have digital products like ebooks and some gift cards and so on. So you can click here to say like hey, I just fulfill any order that comes. Once the product is downloaded, just fulfill it without tracking number. You have to enable this. But for now, let's use it the traditional way where the product has to be shipped by a supplier. So these are the other options. We'll go through that little later. But I want to show you about this link. How to set up this link. So let's save here and go. And once you save that, you'll see here there's the current status. So it's processing. It'll take a few seconds. Depends on how many products you have. Just a few seconds, and it's just a one-time thing. The first time it will take some time, and once it turns green, say you see that it's success, your link is ready. So here, what this box says is that this vendor, so we just say test one, has all these products that we have selected. If you want to add more products or delete some products, you can go and edit it here. And we'll come back to these options later. These are automation options. But here, this is the link, right? You want to copy this and paste it, or you want to click it here. You see here, this opens up the tracking sheet or the vendor sheet or whatever you call it. This is the place where everything happens. So you see here, like all these products that we selected in the previous video, gloves and bandanas, and these are the unfulfilled orders. These are the unfulfilled orders. Like I showed you here in these orders, these relates to order number 1059, 1060, 1063. So there's order number 5960. These are unfulfilled. These have come in, the orders have come in, but not been fulfilled. So who will fulfill? Your shipping partner. So what does your shipping partner need? All these informations. He or she has all this information, and they have the customer information, they have the order information, they need to know how many they need to fulfill, what's the total quantity ordered. For example, let's say they want to fulfill only certain products right now. They have only, let's say there's total of 5 quantity ordered of this product, but they want to fulfill only 3. So they can do 3, and there's so many options. So they can even search, they can search by product name. So let's say I want to search by order number 1059, and automatically I'll get that. I'll get this order information here. And then if I want I want to search by gloves, the vendor wants to fulfill only based on gloves, you'll see only gloves will come here. And so this is how AutoFulfill vendor link works. So this link is permanent, and every time a new order comes, it automatically gets added here to the bottom. And so this is how it works, and we'll look at all these options in the following videos. So the third step or the third video in this tutorial is how to send custom order information to your vendor and to fulfill the order. So what we have done in this earlier videos is we have set up a sample vendor here, and if you want to edit it, you can go edit it. And let's say you want to add you have some custom information. So let's save and continue here. So go to the third step, step 1, 2, and 3. This is the last step. So you say add more fields. So for example, in this AutoFulfill link we saw, there's there's phone number. Maybe you don't want the phone number to be shown, or you want to keep it private. So you can say, I don't want to add phone number, but I want to show them the SKU. I want to show the vendor cost. What's the vendor cost? It is. We'll come back to this video later. It's basically you can enter the cost and you can calculate profit margins on each product. There's a special order note that the customer sends, and you want your supplier to see that. Or you have other discounts that you're given, and you want your supplier to see that when they prepare the invoice to be shipped. And there are other images you want to add. Let's say include image, or you want to include the image URL, and there are other attributes like cart attributes. There are sometimes there's some thickness of a material, or there's a color. There's different properties that goes with this. So many times this is not enough. There needs to be more information. So you can add all that. You can add product tags. Sometimes some of our customers, they use order tags, where there are specific, very custom designed T-shirts or something, which needs very custom information. So all these things, can be added to your order information, and it gets updated here. So we added few here. Let's see whether they get added. So these are the custom information. And if you have any specific requirement, you can please contact us, and we'll try to add it as quickly as possible. So let's see how this works. Okay, so let's save and continue. And we'll give it some time because it has to update for the first time, only for the first time. And once it's updated, we can see the vendor link. Okay, so there's green. So let's click here. This is the old vendor sheet link, and this is the new one. So you see here, the old had this information, but now we went and updated it. See, amazing. You get the image link. And remember this, when you click on this link, you see at the bottom there, bottom left, you see this link to the file. So it doesn't take it doesn't take the vendor or the supplier to your store. So sometimes, some sellers, they want to keep the vendor separate from, they do not want the vendor to see their store. So, but again, you see here, this is the link to the image. It doesn't lead them to the store. So you can see there's privacy for you there. And then we added SKU. So SKU is showing up here. Order note, we removed phone number. So there was a phone number. You don't want them to know your phone number. So basically just the shipping information, the order information, the product name, order date, and all these things. So this is how a custom order information can be added. So welcome back to the tutorial. This is video number 4, and in this step, we want to see how to set up email notifications so vendors are alerted of new orders. So anytime a new order comes, so we have set up this vendor here for few of our products in our store, and this is the link that they will be using. This is a permanent link, will not change, but they need to be notified. So there's 2 ways that you can set up notification. You can set it up initially, when you go here, we can edit this box, and let's say this is step 2. We don't need to do anything here. So you see here, there's a vendor notification tab here. So this is one way. Or after you created the link, there's another option here which is called notify. You can do this here. So both of them, it doesn't matter. It works the same way. So let's say you want to send your to your supplier. He says supplier@gmail.com. Supplier of your gloves, suppliergloves@gmail.com, and you want to send a notification every time an order is placed. Maybe not. If you get hundreds of orders, you don't want to send hundreds emails and spam their inbox. But let's say you want to send them one. You can add more emails. Supplier fulfillment@gmail.com. It's just something. Your contacts. So and then send one email each day at certain time zone. This is the time zone you want to send. Maybe they are in China, maybe they are in some other places, Berlin, and you can send them. Okay, I want to send it every day evening, 5 o'clock in their Berlin time, so they can know. And email notification will only be sent when there's unfulfilled orders. When there are no new orders, nothing will be sent. Okay, and then you can add your signature here. You are the glove store guy. You are the ABC glove store guy. So he can know that this is the vendor who's sending the information. You are from Seattle, in the US. So he remembers. And then maybe you can contact information, or sometimes we know some people have added their FedEx account or their credit card information, so people can charge them. Basically, they can charge to that. So it's you can do whatever you want. You can add some signatures there. So this is how you set up vendor notification. So anytime a new order comes here, new order comes to the link, adds to this permanent link. immediately you need a notification, and this is how you do it. Thank you. So the next step is to be done by your supplier or your vendor or your fulfillment partner. So now that they have all this information, they have all this unfulfilled order information, so they have the information enough to ship to the customer and the order information, everything. So now what they do is they need to ship it, and they need to add the tracking number. And let's say this order 1059, it has a couple of items, and let's try to fulfill this one. And let's say we'll just add a dummy tracking number, and let's say UPS, and here it says fulfillment quantity. Let's say for example this had 10 quantity, and you can the vendor can fulfill 5 at a time. So he can fulfill 5, he can, let's say here there's 10, and he can fulfill 5, and then it's still, so it will still show us pending, 5 more is pending. So this product will still keep showing. So here now let's see how this is done. So let's see how the vendor can save this here. So once it's saved, it's done. So it's entered here, and now will it get fulfilled immediately? No. The reason is because it's set as manual. So refresh is set as manual. If you see here, this is set as manual. So we have to manually run this. So if you run this manually, and this will automatically get fulfilled in your Shopify admin panel. So let's say here 1059 and 1059, and this is the order. This is the product, the green socks, green gloves, sorry. And let's see whether it gets. So it's here. It's not fulfilled yet. So let's run it manually. Of course, there's an automation option also where you can set it for every hour and on, and I'll cover that in a different video, but this video just shows how to add tracking number. So let's say run now, and it says fulfillment in progress, and once that is done, we'll go refresh and see what happens to our order there, order status there. So it will take few seconds, I'm sorry, and if there's more orders, it will take few minutes, but everything is automated. So there you see 1059, the tracking number, it was fulfilled. There are still some more pending unfulfilled orders. So when you refresh this page now, see that is not there anymore. It's gone to the fulfilled order section. So these are fulfilled right now. So go back. So your vendor can even see which orders have been fulfilled and when it was fulfilled, at what time. And now these are the pending orders which they can fulfill. Let's go back to the order and see what the status is. See, this is not fulfilled still. So let's refresh and see what happened. You see that's not there anymore. Where is it? It's down here, fulfilled. So this was fulfilled. This was fulfilled earlier. This is fulfilled now. So this is how it happens. It's you don't need to manually do anything. It's automatically fulfilled. But for now, the process we have here. We go back to tasks. It's set as manual. We can automate this to be running automatically every 1 hour. So what happens? It will pick up any order that has a tracking number. It will pick that up, and it will immediately fulfill that without you having to manually run this. So we'll cover that, the automatic fulfillment, in a different video. In the previous video, we saw how we could add a tracking number individually. When your vendor goes, a supplier, or fulfillment partner goes, they can add individually. But let's say there are like bulk and hundreds of orders that need to be fulfilled, or where the tracking number needs to be added. So we have an option here. So let's say you can do it in bulk, which is using Microsoft Excel. So you can download here. So what this download option will do is give you all the pending orders here. So let's say download, and let's open up that file that got downloaded. So when it's so you see here all the orders like 1059, there are 4 line items of 1060 and 1063. See, all these are still pending to be fulfilled. So all the other information is there, like your image link, any information like product image link is there, and shipping state, and all the information. So all you need to do is just add a tracking number. So let's say I want to add tracking number ABC, DEF, GHI, and I want to add the tracking number, company, UPS, FedEx, China Post, hell. So all these are one quantity each. So it's done. So you just save this file and upload it. Upload the file. You see what happens. Immediately everything gets uploaded and nothing needs to be done. That's all. The vendor just automatically uploaded everything here. And they don't need to go and individually do this. They can do it in bulk. They can do it in hundreds and 200s and 300s. Many of AutoFulfill customers are using this and they're very happy with this feature where they can bulk upload tracking numbers and the company name. So once this is added, when they can press run here, because right now we set it as manual. So we can automate this to run fulfillments every hour or every day or so on. So we have set as manual here just for the test purpose, for the demo here. I want to show you how fulfillment works. So it's saying fulfillment is in process. Let's see what happens. So you see there, all these tracking numbers have been updated and they've been fulfilled in your Shopify panel. Let's go and check it. 1060 order number. So let's look at 1060. This is the past history. Let's refresh it and see what happens. The magic happened. So it's fulfilled all the bandanas and all the products that we checked there. So these are a different vendor. So it's still to be pending, that they're still not fulfilled. So so you see those three things that got fulfilled here. So that's how AutoFulfill works, and you can completely automate this by making this automated for a day. Every time, like you can run fulfillments once a day or once an hour or so on, and I'll cover that in the next video. But just for demo purpose, I wanted to show the manual, see how the fulfillments work. So another feature that will eliminate emails between the seller, which is you, and the supplier or the vendor is the comments feature, where you can update, where the vendor can update order status immediately. So let's take an example. So here you see there are many orders that need to be fulfilled. Maybe some of them are not able to be fulfilled by the supplier right now. So maybe it's out of stock. Will ship on March 10th. The supplier can enter that information here. They can save it, or they can say, shipping carrier holiday will ship tomorrow. Anything, just any reasons, for this. There'll be many reasons that could, that could cause the delay in some orders. So you can immediately know why there's a delay. And this will get all consolidated in one place. So because this is set to manual, because the fulfillment is set to manual, it will take some time for the vendor comments to get updated. So let's run it for now. I've set it manual just for the demo purpose, but this can be done every hour or every day or twice a day or thrice a day. So based on your preference, you can set this. I'll show you how this is done. But for now, we are doing a demo, so we need to see it immediately. I've set this to manual here. So let's see here. So it's manual, and so these comments are updated here. You don't need to go to the link as a seller. When the supplier enters the status update of a product, you can see here. So vendor comments, you can see. So okay, there's this order number 1059 will ship tomorrow, and this order number 1056 will ship on March, and there's a reason. So any comments added by your vendor is immediately known by you on your side. So this eliminates emails. It will eliminate status updates on specific orders, and so many of hassles and manual back and forth communication. So this is one of those features. So in this video, we'll see how we can set up a manual or an automatic order fulfillment. What does it mean? So there are a couple of ways where you can fulfill an order. So for example, let's say this is your tracking sheet, and your vendor adds some tracking number. After he ships it, adds a tracking number, and they add all this information. All they need to do is just add the tracking number and the company and just save it. Next way, XYZ. Let's say approve, and then they save it. So here now, the method for automation of your fulfillment is manual, because I'm using a manual because I can show it immediately. So when I fulfill something, I want to fulfill these 2 orders, I'll say manual. So which manual means I need to go and run it here. So let's wait, till it gets fulfilled in Shopify. And this is order number 1059. So this is scarf, 2 kind of scarves. So let's see here, it will take few seconds. And once it's done, we'll see, so you see here, these 2 orders got fulfilled. And let's go, if you go to order 1059, order 1059 here, those 2 orders which is already partially fulfilled, it got fulfilled here. You see these 2 got fulfilled. So this is manual method where you do it manually. But this is not possible. Just for a demo purpose, I'm showing manual. But there is also an automated method where you can automate your fulfillments. So let's go to step 1, step 2, and step 3. Edit, and then so you see here, set up fulfillment automation. This is how you do it. When the tracking number is updated, which means when a tracking number is updated here, how often do you want to mark as fulfilled in Shopify admin panel? So right now we set it to manual. So you can set it daily or hourly, every 2 hours. When I say every 2 hours, it's at the top of the hour, which will be like, let's say 6, 8, 10, and so on. So when I say hourly, it's again at the top of the hour. When I say daily, I can mention at what specific time during the day. So let's say you want an automated fulfillment that runs every night at 8 p.m. in your time. So when you set this, you can save this, and you'll see what happens there. So you see, it says it's active. It's not saying manual anymore. It says active. It says daily at 8 a.m., 20 hours, and then when was it last run? It was less than a minute ago, because we did a manual run. And this is the vendor link. You see the vendor link. That's the most updated one. So these are the pending orders, and you see here refresh daily at 8 a.m. So 8 p.m. sorry. So this is how it works, and so you can either have a manual method or you can have an automated method to fulfill. But here, when the orders come here, it's automatic. When unfulfilled order is placed by a customer of yours, it automatically comes here. There's no refresh, or there's no automation. There's no manual setup here. So it's automatically, when I get a new order, it keeps this list keeps growing and growing and growing. So this is how you set up a manual or an automatic order fulfillment. So the next video is about knowing which orders are fulfilled and which orders need to be fulfilled. There's a couple of ways you can see this, and I'll show you how. So this is the permanent vendor link here, and in this link, it will always have a most recent or the most recent, to be fulfilled orders. These are unfulfilled orders, and you can search them by product, you can search them by order name, and so on. But there's a link here where you can see which orders have already been fulfilled and when it was fulfilled and the quantity and all these things. So you can go back to unfulfilled orders here, and you can also see here in your software. There's a in AutoFulfill software itself. You can see it here in the fulfillment section, and you see there are two tabs. One is the orders that have been fulfilled so far, and which includes all your other vendors. This not only includes this particular vendor. This is your scarf vendor, but it also includes your other vendors. Like Test One is another vendor that we have, and we had other vendors earlier. So you see here. So each vendor has a box. They'll have a supply. They'll supply their own products. And so when you say fulfillments here, you'll see all the vendors' fulfillments and unfulfilled orders. These are the orders that still need to be fulfilled. And last time it was checked. When it says checked, it means last time it was run, there was no tracking number found. So that's why it's still unfulfilled. And there's a log here. This is a little more detailed. If you want to know when a certain order got fulfilled, when the order tracking number was fetched, and when why it didn't get fulfilled, and so on. So there's more detail here. So this is how you know whether an order is fulfilled or unfulfilled. And like I said earlier, you can also know the reason if the vendor adds the comments, and you can know the reason also why the order is not still fulfilled or not still shipped to your customer. In this video, we'll see how to add a product cost to each of your SKU, or you can also call product cost as wholesale cost, or a cost of goods, or the cost that your supplier or your vendor charges you. And you can capture this so you can calculate profit margin and so many other things. And we'll see how we can enter this, and then we'll go back to see how we can calculate profit margin in the next video. So in this video, we'll see how we can add cost to each of your SKU. And so this is blank, you can enter it one by one if you have only few products in your store, or if you want to do it in bulk, you can download this template here. Let's download it and open it. So this is the second method. The first method is just entering directly. So let's enter $3 for each product. So there are 102 products, and it's just copied and pasted it for all, just kept it as 3 and then saved it. Let's close this, and then let's upload the same template. And so it takes a few minutes or a few seconds actually to upload it. And you see here everything is updated. So like you go here, every product is has a cost next to it. So so you can enter it directly, or you can enter through the template. So that's how you enter the cost. And another reason we want to enter the cost is if you see here, you can when you send the order information to your supplier, you can add the product cost also. So for example here, when you go and edit this for this vendor, you can in the third step, when you say add more fields, you can add a field called vendor cost. So this, whatever you entered in this vendor field here, will get added to that. So let's test this out. Let's save this. Save this, give it a few seconds there because it's processing, because it's the first time. It's adding all the vendor cost to the pending orders. Once it turns green, then we can go and refresh our page. Okay, it's success, it's green, so let's refresh and see. You see that vendor cost of $3. Let's see this one. Vendor cost of $3. So you have this, and then there is another way you can verify your profit margin. We'll see it in the next video, how you can calculate your profit margin based on all the sales and orders that you've sent to your supplier. And in this short video, we'll see how to report gross profit margin. What's gross profit margin? It means your selling price after discount minus the cost of goods, whatever your supplier charges you for each product. So this is very helpful for you to see the profitability of your business and the viability of your business. And so let's see from here how we can do this. So this is only possible if after you've added the cost, because the cost is not something that is inbuilt in Shopify, so we have to add it. So after you've added, you can go and report profit margin. And this is how you enter cost. I've covered this in the previous video. If you want a detail, you can go to that video, and you can add cost through Excel file, bulk upload, or you can individually add the cost. So now let's go to calculating the profit margin. So these are the profits. These are the orders that have been fulfilled so far. You can select by time, like you want to see, okay, I want to see from March 1st to March 3rd. I want to see only for 3 days what's my price and what's my cost. So you see here, each line item, it shows you, what's the total price and the cost. And so we just randomly inserted 3 for every product. See here, you sold this for $4 and the actual cost is 3, so your profit is 99. So you can go to different sheets, and the total for this page is shown here, and for all the pages is also shown here. So there's only one page here, so that's why both are same. So this is how you can see your profit margin, and you can make it 50, or you can search by certain products, you can search by certain vendors, so on and so forth. So you can scarves, and so you search there, you see that automatically it will show you only this vendor, and that vendor's what you got profit from that vendor. This is the price that you sold in your shop, and this is the price you paid for the paid for the supplier or your vendor. So this is how you calculate profit margin. In this video, we'll see the different pricing plans of AutoFulfill. How does pricing work, and where can you go and change the prices? So in any month, the first 50 orders are free. You can view and fulfill the first 50 orders for free, and there's no cost with it. And after that, up to 500 orders, it's $10, and up to 1,000 orders, it's $20, and up to $2,000 orders, you pay $30. So there's no transaction fee, there's no commission. It's only based on actual orders that you are processing. And if you have more than 2,000 orders, we usually charge $10 for 1,000 more orders. So for example, if you have 10,000 orders, it will be around $110 a month. If you have $3,000, it will be $40 a month. So it's very scalable. It scales with your profitability of your business. So it doesn't affect, the pricing will not affect your bottom line. So, and also this is the most reasonably priced plans that you'll find anywhere for all the automation, which will save you hours, and it will save you, it will increase the satisfaction of the customer by fulfilling quickly, and it will also help you to focus on selling more. So these are the plans, and this is how you change the plans. You see here, you can select a plan here, or you can go to the settings page, and you can, there's a free plan right now, and you can say change plan, and you can change the plan anytime. You can go to the $30 plan, and then you can come back to $10 if you have if you have less orders to be fulfilled that particular month. So you can always go up and down. So that's how pricing works with AutoFulfill. And in this video, we'll see some settings, some notification settings that are in AutoFulfill, which will help you to optimize your business. So the first one is, I want to show you, is when you have set up a vendor, or when you are going to set up a vendor for the first time, there's an option called, go to step 3. This is step 2. We go to step 3. Here you see here, there is a AutoFulfill notification settings, which means you'll receive. I want to receive 1 email a day at this particular time of all the fulfilled and unfulfilled orders. So you are in control. The seller, as a seller, you are in control. So you'll receive an email to your shop email ID about all the fulfilled and unfulfilled orders. Or if you want every time an order is fulfilled, this is if you have more than few orders, this will be very troublesome. So you can receive once a day, or you can receive every time an order is fulfilled or unfulfilled. So there's a couple of options here, and there's more settings here. If you go to the settings tab, there are a few more settings. You can change your time zone for which you want to run. And also there is another thing called allow authorized orders to be fulfilled. Sometimes some orders are in authorized status, and some people don't want to fulfill orders in the authorized status in Shopify. So you can say no, it will not fulfill. And then there's another option called skip sending risky orders to vendors. So Shopify sometimes it flags certain orders considered to be risky, or considered to be a fraud or spam. So instead of having your vendor fulfill that accidentally, it's better not to send them. If you don't want to send them, you can not send them, and then send them separately. If you want to send all orders, just say yes, it will send everything. And then send customer notification for bulk Excel fulfillments. So when you can also fulfill using Excel bulk fulfill, and I'll show you how that is done. So here in the tasks page, you can see here, when you edit this, we'll go back to the same thing again. Step 2, step 1, step 2. In step 3, there is an option called, do you want to notify customer of the shipment? So you can say yes or no. So every time order is marked as fulfilled in Shopify, do you want to send an automated email? The email will be sent by, Shopify. It will be sent by Shopify, not by AutoFulfill. So this is, I'm talking about this email. So when you want to fulfill something, here it will say, you can send shipment note details to your customer now. So do you want to send this or not? So automatically, you can set this. You can check this or uncheck this from here. So do you want to notify customer of the shipment? If you say no, when your order is fulfilled by a shipping partner, it will not send anything. If you say yes, they'll get an email from Shopify, not from AutoFulfill, but from Shopify. So these are some of the settings in AutoFulfill.